Welcome to the UglyMugsPodcast. I'm your host, Quincy.
And your other host, Justin.
So, Justin, you're doing last week's tea, right?
Clippers white tea with the raspberry. This time with honey. The honey does really set off the raspberry.
You say Clippers, I think of the NBA team.
I thought so too.
Like, I'm not even like the biggest NBA person. Like, I'll watch it, but it's just not necessarily my thing. And I still go, NBA? Yeah, that's the only Clippers I can think of.
Basketball.
So I'm doing something kind of special today.
Yes.
So I'm doing Bones Coffee, which you have to order online.
Mr. Bones.
And I am doing High Voltage. Or shall we say it right? What do you think? High Voltage!
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you getting? Oh, that's what you're getting at.
So AC/DC is my favorite band. So the fact that there's something called High Voltage, I just love it.
Yeah, and it smelled good to me, but I was like, no coffee today. Thank you.
It's pretty good. I did sugar and cream. I like it.
It's extra hit of caffeine in them.
Caffeine. Company sent us a sticker too.
Yeah.
So
it's a cute little brand.
I want to save the bag. The bag's really cool. So it's an all black bag, and the part where you like peel the bag open is shaped like a bone.
Mr. Bones, wild ride. Get me off this crazy thing.
No. Just no.
You're a 90s kid?
Yes, but no.
Oh, okay.
So the label, they design them differently for each flavor. So this one is like a mad scientist. He's got some kind of crazy brewing machine. He's pulling something with electricity. But they did just drop a pumpkin spice one for the upcoming holidays. Holidays. So do you want to start with movies?
Let's start with the movies.
All right.
So it was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and then Fury Witness Me Road.
So let's start with Thunderdome.
Thunderdome was a 80s as hell movie.
Yes.
That was probably the most 80s movie I've ever seen aside from actually anything in the 80s. It's got Tina Turner in it doing a damn good job as I don't even want to call her an antagonist because she didn't really antagonize too much.
Not too much.
But she played a wonderful role.
It's just Tina kicking ass.
It was Tina doing Tina.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know how much acting she done, but I feel like she should have done more.
She's done some acting, but I mean, I think music was always her true love.
Yeah. But even still, it was a glorious movie to watch.
So now I had mentioned that there was, as far as I'm concerned, a continuity error in this, and
huge.
You saw it, and you agree that's an issue?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't agree that it's an issue. I just wish they explained it.
So the issue is that 2 ends with the voiceover of the feral child talking about that we never saw Max again, and I became their leader, and yada, 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 and how the guy that flew the helicopter...
Gyro...
Yeah.
Gyro something.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but the gyro something.
You know, he was one of their saviors, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. And
Thunderdome starts with...
Him,
the guy that flew the helicopter, flying a plane near Max so they could steal Max's shit.
The 4 camels and a
with
monkey.
With what looks like the feral kid, now less feral, and calling him dad. And the movie ends with them helping everyone escape. So they do meet Max again, and for some reason they're being a dick and stealing Max's shit despite everything he did for them.
But I guess my idea on it is they didn't know it was Max, maybe?
Maybe.
Because they never really express they don't really express very much to Max the entire movie. The guy does look through the crowd at Max and goes, oh, but he doesn't say anything or do anything. Or
later on when Max actually sees them, though, he's like, you! And he's like, me? And like, they're not friends. They're not buddy-buddy.
Weird. It's very weird.
So that was always a weird spot for me. But we can move on to Fury Road.
Witness me!
I saw that coming. Actually, real quick to answer your question, Tina Turner has done 57 things as an actor, most of which were actually music videos of hers, so it doesn't count. But IMDb puts music videos on here.
That's fine.
But one of the other things you may know her from, I don't know if you've seen this movie, and if you haven't, it'll go on our list. She's the mayor in The Last Action Hero.
Oh, with Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Yeah, with Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I've seen it a while ago. But yeah, I'd be down to watch that one again.
Most of them, they're
music videos.
Music videos. Like she did a GoldenEye music video. She did the song for GoldenEye. Or she was in one episode of Ally McBeal as Tina Turner.
I mean, okay.
All right, let's move on to Shining and Chrome.
Oh my god, this movie was so good. You hyped it up.
I didn't hype it up.
You hyped it up.
I hyped it up by saying it was my favorite in the franchise.
And that hyped it up to me because Mad Max to me was, Fallout, that sort of thing, and
Yes.
then an angry dude getting his revenge for all the bullshit and yet slowly evolving. And then when you said this one's your favorite, and I was like, the one that doesn't involve Mel Gibson, that sort of thing, I was like, okay.
Well,
I
yeah,
hyped it up.
because I'm a purist. Because for most things, I'm a purist where I'm like, the original is better.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of person that says sequels suck because I don't agree sequels suck. In fact, a lot of times I feel sequels are better. I like T2 better than Terminator.
Some. Like, what do they call them? Suit wearing, British.
Men in Black? Oh, wait. Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Yeah.
Kingsman
I will give
1,
you Kingsman
good.
1 is better than Kingsman 2.
Kingsman 2 was kind of a drag, but I do like the action scenes.
But then I have to say, like I said, T2. I think
T2.
T2 is better than Terminator.
Concur.
Not saying Terminator is bad because I'm not.
No, it's just one is better than the other
Yes.
in generalized opinion.
But Fury Road is my favorite, and I saw it in theaters.
I agree.
I wanted to go back and keep seeing it in theaters, just I couldn't afford it.
I feel like I missed out on this one seeing it in theaters because Charlize Theron, holy cow, she's amazing in this film.
Oh, she's a fucking spectacular actress.
Yeah,
She deserves an Oscar.
Hardy played a good Max, even though he was just growls and
I took issue
water.
with that the first time I saw it too, was with all the grunting and no talking and everything. But I kind of chopped it up to the fact that he probably hasn't been around people in a while.
Yeah, he's a little bit. Don't talk to me. I'll just yell at you if I need anything.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how he was in Max 2.
Yeah, Max
technically.
2, he has like 30 lines.
Yeah, and
And two of them are the same line twice.
Yeah. But I appreciate this movie. Every single character had a very good plot point. And I felt like you don't get that with something where you're literally in a bunch of cars shooting at other people with, arrows, guns, fucking flamethrowers. You don't get a generalized story with that. But
even more so when you stop and take a step back and go, holy shit, the story was drive to this place, turn around and come back.
Pretty much. But they did it with a lot of entertainment and
Yes.
a lot of fun.
Lots of practical effects.
Lots of practical effects. There were very minimal CG, just basically backgrounds, making the flames shoot further. Nothing that wasn't...
Sandstorm.
Yeah, the sandstorm. But nothing that wasn't already there.
Yeah,
and
hiding ramps, things like that.
Yeah, hiding ramps. Yeah, you stage it up like yellow or green and basically have it look different. But even still, everything looked good. I don't think there was ever a letdown scene aside from the very, very beginning of the movie. But I wouldn't call it a letdown scene. I just say the lowest of the build-ups, because it's just the beginning of the movie. It's already pulling it in where, the car gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That made me sad.
yeah, it was like already a poke and a prod, and he's already at like wit's end.
And if you pay attention, the car gets destroyed twice.
Yeah. That's my car. But Tom Hardy, to his benefit, does a very good Max.
Yeah.
I do appreciate him.
It's this crazy thing where it's like, I don't like Tom Hardy's Bane. I don't know how much of that is Tom Hardy's fault and how much of that is Christopher Nolan's fault.
It's mostly probably Nolan's because he has a envision for every one of the villains, considering he did it to Joker.
But his Joker turned out amazing. Originally, Nolan had planned a much larger universe, but then Heath Ledger passed away, and so they just end capped it. Originally, it was supposed to go on several movies. The Joker was going to keep coming back. Bane was going to happen. Catwoman was going to happen. Talia al Ghul was going to happen, but they were all going to happen over time. It wasn't all supposed to be in one movie, but he had to end cap the movies because, Ledger died.
Now, let me ask, in this dark, cynical area, do you think that Jim Carrey would want to reprise his role as the Riddler in a more darker, less
He's done
jokey
darker
joke?
roles.
I know, but would you say that he should have if they kept going?
I would have loved it.
Because I did enjoy. Don't get me wrong. As far as that movie wasn't too great, I did enjoy him as Riddler.
So now here's an interesting thing about that. He hated doing that movie.
Did he?
He butted heads with Schumacher a lot. And him and Tommy Lee Jones did not get together.
To be fair, Tommy Lee Jones doesn't get along with very many people.
Well, But you can't tell watching the movie.
No.
That's the one thing I can say about both those actors is while they weren't getting along and they weren't happy with the director, you cannot tell watching that movie. They fucking
They killed it.
killed it.
They made that movie adequate. I can't say it was great.
No, I mean, it's a Schumacher fucking Batman. Now, originally, I do believe both of them, if not both of them, I know for a fact Carrey said they would never work with Schumacher again. Years later, though, Carrey goes on to work with Schumacher because Schumacher directed number 23. Yeah. So there's still, I guess, a chance of reconciling things. Maybe we'll get another Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey movie one day. I don't know what it would be.
I mean, Jim Carrey's done a lot of growing up as far as like going out and just. I'm more relaxed than I was before. I'm more relaxed than when I was on Living Color.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, hell, one of his more recent ventures was the fact that he executive produced I'm Dying Up Here, which is based off a book that's about comics in the 70s and about like the Shores, Pauly Shore's mom. She ran one of the most influential comedy clubs back in the day, and she basically made her broke it when you came to being a comic.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So she was one of the high Caesars where they're holding their thumb out sideways and can either throw it up or down.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
And so that's what I'm Dying Up Here is about. It was a Showtime show. Sadly, I don't think it got renewed for another season, but Carrey's an executive producer on it.
Neat.
And a lot of the comedians are like, yeah, we got to sit down and have lunch with Carrey or dinner with Carrey or something like that. And he basically talked us through what it was actually fucking like back then. And it was an insane conversation to have with him. I love his episode of comedians in cars getting coffee.
Oh yeah, you showed me that one. It was amazing.
Yeah. And that was like at the height of his like not doing any movies. He's getting all into the painting.
Yeah, he was just relaxing, and then all of a sudden when he gets in the car, the very first scene, he's like, "Oh yeah, I usually stretch my legs by climbing over my front door."
Yeah, climbing over.
He literally climbed over his own front door, and I'm like, did he lock himself out? Oh, he climbed back over. Okay, never mind. I was just like, Jesus Christ, Jim.
That's the thing. Like, while he has reached I don't want to call it maturity because I mean he's always been an adult.
Yeah, he's always been, but he still has that little sprig of freedom.
He found himself being more serious, I guess. Watching that though, you can still tell he wants to have fun and he's still gonna make jokes and he's still gonna be Jim Carrey.
What was the thing that he did in the coffee shop?
Oh, where he stood on the
the farthest
he stood on the
creamer drop
booth, put the coffee on the ground. No, it wasn't creamer, it was he brings his own sweetener.
That's it.
And so he's like standing up holding the sweetener by the roof, getting the drops to drop right into the cup, seeing if he can make it, and he makes it. And he goes nuts. The people in the diner go nuts, and Seinfeld's dying.
Oh yeah. Oh, he is probably one of the best hosts, I think, for that kind of show.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone else could probably pull in that kind. Because at the very beginning, you get the information about the cars.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that one that he did with... I'm trying to remember who it was. But
I watched a lot.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I'm not sure.
It was one of the ones that we saw together, of course. But it was one of the... It was... Like, he goes over the details of the car, like what the engine is, how it handles, that sort of thing. One, I remember, it started off with, I hate this car.
Yeah.
I don't like this car. It looks nice, but it's a piece of shit.
He did the one with what's her name? Sex and the City.
Oh, the fucking hatchback.
Oh no, it's not a hatchback.
A station wagon.
There you go.
Fuck you.
Well, no, a hatchback is different.
Is it?
Yeah. Pull up a hatchback. I can't believe we're having this fucking discussion. Pull up a hatchback. This is why you tuned in. Okay, hatchbacks have like these like weird full back trunk thing. I used to own a hatchback. I pull up a station wagon. That's a station wagon hatchback. That's a combination of the two. But what she was driving was just a station wagon.
Okay. Retractive statement. Fine, they are different. Okay. I apologize.
That's all right. It's going to drive me nuts, though. Pull up Sex and the City. I can't remember her name. She's married to fucking Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, Ferris Bueller. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the one you were thinking of? Because he hated her car, because it was actually her car. The big...
there was two. There was one that he was given to drive, and then there was that. Well, I think both he hated.
Because I know he hated that one. She bought it because of the kids. And
it was like, the first one was like this really boxed-in white car.
I don't remember. There's so many episodes.
There's so many, but
and they're not in order on Netflix. Netflix actually isn't showing a lot of the original episodes. For instance, there's a Louis C.K. episode that they won't show.
Because of the whole...
Yeah.
Because
originally it was a show on Crackle, and then Jerry wanted to keep doing seasons, and basically the way Jerry got to keep doing seasons was Netflix bought it.
At least it kept going.
Yeah, the new season's got Eddie Murphy. I haven't watched it yet. He's looking good.
I wouldn't be surprised. We'll probably watch that later on. But yeah, no, he didn't like the fucking station wagon either.
No, he fucking hated that.
Yeah, and he had someone else drive while her and him sat in the back eating muffins.
Something, yeah, because they were trying to recreate her childhood. Because the old station wagons, you could sit. They had seats in the back where you could look out the back of the car.
Yeah, it reminds me of a youth when there was a next door neighbor who had theirs cut out, and it was like this U-shaped couch.
Okay.
And then in the middle was like this small pool of water that was covered up, and then you would kick it up, and you would be able to dip your feet in the back.
Interesting.
And I was like, ooh, that's weird. That's a long.
We've been through some weird fucking cars. There's an episode I know you didn't get to, which it's Patton Oswalt.
Ooh.
And he picks him up in a DeLorean, and Patton's loving it, and Seinfeld hates the car. And the water pump goes out like 10 minutes into the episode. And so they have to get in a different car and get the DeLorean towed away. Yeah.
It looks like it's not going to hit 88 miles anytime soon.
No. Fun fact, Michael J. Fox hates the DeLorean.
Why?
So he says that car became the bane of his existence doing those 3 movies. Because one of the things that they had implanted in the car to make it a time machine, it's a manual. So he would shift and bring his fucking elbow back into this thing and rack his elbow every fucking time. The other thing is those doors are the ones that go upward, right?
Yeah, suicide doors.
Yeah. Well, the suicide doors are
the ones that open up.
they're hooked at the bottom and they swing up. Are the suicide doors? Yeah, I don't remember what the DeLorean wing ones are called.
Let's find out. DeLorean. Oh God, I can't see what I
told. Yeah, that is not at all close. It was like Verlusten. I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
What are the car doors that go up?
Gullwing.
Scissor doors.
Oh, okay, scissor. I saw Gullwing down there too. Right there, Gullwing. Oh, scroll that too. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what the difference between a Gullwing is and a scissor. Scissor.
Either.
Okay, yeah. It looks like it's the same thing. Gullwing's probably just modern. The problem is they go up. It's hydraulics.
Yeah.
They're filming in the middle of the night. It's cold.
They freeze.
Hydraulics. It doesn't freeze, but it cools, so the hydraulics compress. You're doing 80 takes of a scene. He's standing by this damn thing. Repeatedly, this happened. The fucking door fell down and cracked him in the head, to the point where he started bleeding. And they would go cut. He'd get medical attention while guys are over there with blow dryers trying to heat the hydraulics back up so the doors will stay open. He also had an issue with number 3, the Western.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a revolver, but it's a prop revolver. So he's just doing the motions of pulling the trigger and slapping the...
Fan the hammer.
Yeah, hitting the hammer. Fanning the hammer. Problem is it's a prop. Nothing moves. So he's rapidly slapping back and every now and then hitting it. And starts ripping his hand open, slapping the hammer.
That's him, though.
That's on him, yeah, but he hated the fucking DeLorean. He's like, I'm so glad that they destroyed it in number 3. He's like, that fucking car. Yeah, he wasn't happy.
I'm sure if time forbade, I'm sure that there would have been a better build of that.
Maybe. So, fun fact, the design crew for the movie did such amazing sketches and models and everything for how they were going to change the DeLoreans for the movies that DeLorean actually offered them jobs back before DeLorean went out of business.
Yeah.
But they were like, your people fucking know what they're doing. We'll gladly put you to work if you need work. How do we get here? We were talking about
cars,
comedians,
cars,
because we were talking about Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was the connection to Batman. Oh, you were asking me if he would do a serious Riddler.
Riddler.
I would like to see it. Honestly, I wanted him for Mysterio before they casted Gyllenhaal. But hey, that can lead us into our news. Since Spider-Man's back at Sony.
Not a big fan of this.
No, neither am I. I don't want to touch on it too much. All I want to say is my understanding is Marvel wanted more money, and Sony said no. And so Sony and Marvel parted ways. He will no longer be in the MCU, and Sony's saying that they plan on making at least 2 more movies with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So that means they're probably going to connect it to the Venom universe. It's going to get real fucking confusing now.
No, wait, hold on. Who owns Deadpool?
Fox, which is owned by Disney.
So we might get Deadpool later on with the regular MCU, but we're not going to get...
Oh, yeah. That's very possible. But we will never see Deadpool Spider-Man now. Unless it's in cartoon form again, which we've seen before.
We've seen before, but I mean, does Deadpool exist in the alternate dimensions, like with Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales?
Yeah, there's multiple dimensions of Deadpool, yeah.
Okay, because, I mean, I'm curious to know if we can
The thing is Marvel owns Deadpool. Marvel and Sony are not seeing eye to eye.
I know.
Marvel will never let Sony use Deadpool.
I know.
So
it's just I was curious if maybe later on there might have been something.
Originally, they were going to connect the X-Men movies to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans.
Yay!
Oh
no!
Hugh Jackman was in New York and was going to do a cameo. The problem is the Wolverine suit was in a different state and was kind of stuck. They couldn't get it in time, so they had to cancel the whole thing.
Sorry, readjust.
What's wrong?
It was just a little off.
You fucked me up now.
No, did I?
Is that better?
That's better.
I feel like I'm really low now.
It looks low, but it's 9.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so that never happened. So that was almost our first cinematic universe.
That would have been. I mean, it would have been fine, even though Spider-Man 3 was a goddamn disaster.
It was. Now I want to show you something.
I'm gonna look at Spider-Man 3 real quick.
It made money.
It made money, but I want to know how much.
Actually, technically, none of the Spider-Man movies have been flops. Even Amazing made money. Amazing 2, I should say, made money. I'm going to show you a quick...
Holy shit.
What?
It did well.
So they had a budget of $250 million. They made $890.9 million. I'm surprised 4 never happened. Talks were that 4 was going to be Carnage and Kraven.
I fucking love Kraven.
From what I understand, and I don't know how much of this is hearsay, but my understanding is that Raimi didn't want all those villains in 3. Because you had Hobgoblin, kind of. You had Sandman, and you had Venom. The studio, I guess, is the one that pushed it, because the studio thought the more villains, the more interested people will be in the movie.
No, that's too many cooks at that point.
Too many cooks. And not that annoying little parody.
Too many cooks.
Okay, so here's the first meme I have for you.
Oh, no. Hit me with that meme.
It's...
Oh, no!
It's the news scene from that ballad of whatever his name is on Netflix. I can't remember.
Oh, no, I don't like it.
Andrew Garfield looking over at looking over at Tom Holland with Tobey Maguire in the background. They've all got nooses around their neck, and it's like first time.
Huh?
There was another one I can't seem to find now.
But it's still, that's not good. That's not a good meme.
It's Squidward from when he's completely in like the full body cast when he has the accident, and it says Uncle Ben when they're telling him he has to die for a 4th time.
Oh, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of scaled over it in the Garfield.
No, the Garfield, they do it. It's in Amazing Spider-Man 1. Yeah, it's Martin Sheen. I think it's Martin Sheen. Yeah, it's Martin Sheen. He's there and everything. He's like sad and crying, normal Spider-Man stuff. They completely ignore it in the MCU. They didn't want to do origin story in the MCU.
That's it. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
I at this point I'm done. I don't think I'm gonna go see any of the Sony ones. I'll probably wait for HBO or something.
Even let's say it's another Miles Morales set.
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse, I'll keep watching like the animated things. I'll watch those, but the whole back and forth or the constant rebooting of Spider-Man, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired. I have lived through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we don't count the animated stuff, and if we don't count him showing up in like Endgame or any Avenger stuff, I have lived through 7 Spider-Man movies. I have seen almost every one of those in theaters. I'm done. I'm tired.
Okay.
Stan Lee's daughter came out and basically stood up for Sony.
Yeah.
And said that,
long as
She
you're-
doesn't agree with Marvel trying to own everything, Disney trying to own everything her dad created, and she thinks other people should be allowed to do their takes, yada yada yada.
And I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. Just
That just
let
tells
it-
me she didn't watch Venom.
Yeah, but then on the open and closed hand, I'm like, yeah, just keep what he made alive, please. Don't let it fall into some fucking vault forever. Because that's slowly what's happening with the DCU. They're just like, what's gonna sell? Oh, that'll sell. Put it out.
I'm telling you what I want from the DCU. So they've rumored that they did say they're going to do more stuff in the Arrowverse. Arrow being over, it does not mean the Arrowverse is done.
I got major spoilers in a trailer for Arrow.
I am so
Season
behind.
7.
I don't watch any trailers.
Yeah, I got screwed super hard.
I'm still in the first season of Flash because it's just we watch an episode here or there, but there's just so many fucking shows.
There is a lot. There's a lot of shows. There's a lot of movies that are still working their way through. There's games. We have a lot to actually catch up on.
Yeah,
And it
and we have
sucks.
jobs, and
Yeah, we have jobs.
we're getting old.
I'm playing D&D. He's playing D&D.
My back is killing me.
My shoulders are killing me. We need time to dedicate to this stuff.
We just need to die already.
No.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Um,
I'm very sleepy.
but what was I saying before? Oh, we were talking about DCU.
Yeah.
So they're saying they do still have plans. They are going to be introducing a new superhero show. I am telling you, they need to do. So they've already got a couple minis online. Do a mini. You can do it super cheap. CW, I will let you have this idea if you let me fucking cameo. Do the question. Let the question.
Yeah, the question will sell.
I don't know that he'll be able to stay going enough for a TV show though. So I'm saying do a mini series of the question that crosses over with the Arrowverse throughout.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's just sitting there digging through a trash, huh?
Yeah. You go through my trash, but you go through my trash, please. You go through everybody's.
Like he is a very interesting character. Same thing with
amazing.
fucking Moon Knight for Marvel. They need to do something for him.
Oh yeah. They're too focused on the bigs that we have seen repeatedly. Everyone has seen Batman. Everyone knows Batman's story. Everyone has seen Superman. Everyone knows Superman's story. I'm not saying I don't want Batman and Superman back. Keep bringing them back. But if you're going to bring them back, bring in some other fucking people. Like, let us see what else you have.
Or bring something new.
Well, I don't want something new. Don't create an original character.
Okay, reiteration. Add in some interesting plot relevancy, such as with Homecoming, with Vulture being the love interest's father. Like, bring something in that'll make
cool.
you go, me like, oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect it
impressive.
either, but holy shit.
There's been little things that they've done in the MCU that I'm like, why didn't anybody think about that? Even comic book writers have said that. So Tony's dad being part of the Super Soldier program and being there when they made Captain America is not in the comics. And people over at Marvel are like, fuck, why didn't we do that?
And then
that's fucking great.
And then you have the screenwriters going, ha, we got you.
It's because the screenwriters are nerds.
The screenwriters are huge nerds that make an OC and says, can I add this in later on? Oh, we can add it in Guardians? Okay, cool. Just for that, here's this idea.
So it's like, there's this story, I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the podcast before, but Kevin Smith was a hit up to write a Superman movie years ago.
Oh, with Nick Cage.
No, that's Tim Burton.
That's Tim Burton's?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was
then
after
disregard
that.
Then.
Yeah, this was after all that.
Ooh.
So he's down. He comes down to Warner Brothers, and they're like, "We want you to write us a script for Superman." He's like, "Okay, but why me?" They're like, "Well, you're into comic books. You know this stuff. Like, you're a nerd guy. You've become known as the nerd guy."
No,
like,
so that would make anyone any one of us to go, "Oh, much appreciated. Yeah. I'll be more. I'm honored."
And that's pretty much how Kevin was. But then he goes, "Wait, you guys own DC? Yeah, you own the comic book companies over there writing comic books. Yeah. Why don't you just have one of those guys write the script for you? They write comic books." And they looked at him and like, "Those are comic books. These are movies."
And then that immediately broke his heart.
Yeah. He wrote the script. They didn't take a script. He says, though, that if you look at some of the stuff that Miller was playing with before Miller's Justice League movie got crushed, if you look at some of the stuff in Man of Steel, he feels like bits of his script were picked at. So, he's not mad about it.
I mean, he's a brilliant man. I would love to meet him one day.
They just announced a Masters of the Universe, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon for Netflix that he's writing. Yeah.
Quincy,
I'm excited.
I'm excited too now because I was like, Last thing that got an update was Thundercats, and it got Thundercats Ho.
Oh, that looks so bad.
It was not great, and I was just like, oh god, there goes.
Well, it's like they have a She-Ra show right now, which is very girl power,
and it's not bad. I watched 2 episodes.
I haven't watched it. I have nothing against it. It just doesn't pull me in.
I mean, if I was interested a little bit more into it, I mean, it does have very good voice actors and actresses.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't shy away from a few subjects in the first 2 episodes. Pretty good.
I think my biggest issue was, even with the original She-Ra, was it's meant to be geared towards girls.
But you're saying He-Man, Kevin Smith,
Masters of the Universe, Kevin Smith, animated.
When?
I don't know. They officially announced it, so you can probably pull it up.
Got it, boss.
But he's been like letting us know, like, I'm working on a TV show. I can't say what. I'm working on a TV show. That right there. And so now this was the official announcement just 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm excited. There's no date, but he's working on it. Okay.
I like the poster.
So I'll be halfway through next year during fall 2020. There's 2 things I get because this is probably going to be a part of it.
Okay.
Is this new He-Man and Critical Role's animated shows is going to be about fall. About then.
Is that going to Netflix? Or
I don't.
Is that going on our website?
I think it's going to be a personal website. I believe. I don't know where the hell that's going to go. But to those who enjoy D&D or starting to enjoy D&D, if you want some good character development ideas, as far as some pretty stereotypical shit, except for fucking Percival. Holy shit, he is the farthest from stereotypical. Watch that in fall of 2020. I guarantee you guys are gonna. Anyone who's DMing, your mind will boggle at what both. Well, the entire cast and crew and Matthew Mercer has come up with. Because Percival's a fucking amazing beast.
I think this is good. I think this is gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good for DC. Not DC. I still have DC on my brain. It'll be good for D&D. I think it'll be good for Critical Role. I don't see this going poorly at all for them. It's just a matter of platform.
The last piece of their live show.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2,000 people sitting in the audience, all singing "Your Turn to Roll." Their little opening that I showed you a while back.
Yeah,
they were all singing it.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it was the most wholesome thing. I was just like, oh my god, you guys, it's fucking amazing.
I'm trying.
D&D is amazing. Oh, that was another thing. Last week when we went to fucking Zia, there was a whole section for fucking D&D.
Yep.
And it had a book I really wanted to buy, but I was like, I don't have $30.
I'm trying to find good quotes from the question that are other than the, Justice League cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like typing in the question, great moments, or question quotes, something like that. It brings up a lot of other shit.
Yeah. Like, hold on.
See if you can find something. I'm trying. That's actually kind of the search I'm doing right now. Oh, there's at least a panel this time. I wasn't getting any panels.
Poverty, wealth, makeup, dirt, the man with the guns. Or the man with the hat and the girl with the guns. It's all connected. It's all web. They hold the answers, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
He's got more than that.
Yeah, everything's further forward, so I can't read it as good.
But this just reminded me. One thing that we have yet to see in Spider-Man that I am dying to see in Spider-Man, I even know what actress I want for it. We have yet to see Madam Web, and I don't know if we're ever going to fucking get there because of the constant back and forth bullshit, the constant reboot bullshit, the constant remake bullshit, the constant bullshit. Sorry, I'm done. I'm really trying to not get pissed off about the Spidey thing.
I'll do it then. I'll get angry about it for you, because I'm always angry.
I'm just hoping that, this doesn't fuck up things for like Insomniac. I hope they still get to make their sequel to the game.
Yeah, I hope that a lot of creators get to do what they're wanting.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, because it was exclusive to Sony.
Because I'm also getting very tired at people trying to do their best to just get their vision out. And I mean, I'm also trying to get my mind out there, but I've been getting tired also. Well, enough about that. Any other stories? Because we've got a lot of gaming news because GamesCom happened this weekend.
You want to hit some gaming news, or you want to hit some more stories?
Let's go hit some stories first, and then we'll end off with this.
Well, in connection to the Spider-Man thing, I feel like Sony is trying to ruin poor little Tom Holland's career.
Oh yeah, by delaying the Uncharted?
The Uncharted movie has been delayed again because they lost another director.
Just put it off. Just take it away. No, I don't. Would you watch it?
Yeah.
Would you watch it in theaters?
I'd have to see something before I can make that decision.
Okay.
He's not the actor I wanted. I wanted Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion playing Nathan Drake?
Yeah.
That would actually. I mean, you know
He
what?
he did a fan made little like 8-minute movie. It's pretty good where he plays Nathan Drake.
Really?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's pretty good.
I'll have to check that out.
The guy that I wanted to be Cable actually plays his older friend. I can't remember his name. Sam? I don't remember.
Yeah, you're getting a shrug out of me, my dude.
I like Uncharted, so I'm not against an Uncharted movie. I mean, it's a very simple thing to make into a movie where you don't have to worry about a lot of CGI fucking it up or are the suits going to be right. It's a dude in a partially long sleeve shirt, like shooting guns and finding artifacts. You know, like it doesn't take much. I think that's why Tomb Raider worked, at least the first one, is because
Tomb Raider worked. Indiana Jones halfway worked, but
well,
the game's not so much.
I was talking about video game adaptation.
Oh, video games. Then yeah, just that.
Yeah, because we've talked about plenty of video game adaptation issues in the past. So I would watch a Uncharted movie. I just don't know that this movie is going to be what we want it to be, if it even ever fucking happens.
Yeah, I don't think if it's delayed because another how many directors is this? 3?
This is 2 or 3, yeah. That I know of.
I should have sworn I saw 3 because I remember hearing that it was in pre-production. I'm like, why? Who's asking for this? And I was like, okay, well, it's being postponed because of either writer issues or director issues. And now this director issue, and then I don't know if there might have been something in between, but it seems like they've had multiple, and that's not good. Something must be up.
Let's see. Dan Trachtenberg had signed on to direct the project, but stepped down.
Any reason why?
Recently directed a pilot episode for Amazon superhero Send Up the Boys is out on Uncharted. Sony has added some talent to the project. Yada yada. I mean, so he had a success with the Boys, but I highly doubt that's the reason he would leave. It's not saying, and it's also not telling me who the previous director was. I'm going through a couple news articles here to see if I can find anything.
Yeah. But while you're doing that, I'll go on to a light bit of gaming news.
Oh, fifth director.
This is a project destined to fail. Just
this
drop
comes from
it.
This comes from Games Radar. Uncharted movie loses its 5th director, Dan Trachtenberg.
Holy shit!
According to Deadline, Dan Trachtenberg, yada yada yada. Oh, he also directed 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I did not watch because I didn't like Cloverfield.
10 Cloverfield Lane is connected, but I actually liked it.
It's a different universe.
Well, one of my favorite actors is in it. You know who it is.
Yeah, John Goodman.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm not against it. It's just I'm getting tired of trying to understand Abrams at times. I like J.J. Abrams, but it's like 10 Cloverfield Lane is not the same universe as Cloverfield or Cloverfield Paradox. And you don't actually understand the connection until you get to Cloverfield Paradox, which, by the way, had no publicity except one sudden trailer out of fucking nowhere during the Super Bowl the day before it fucking launched on Netflix.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It just suddenly Netflix dropped a trailer Super Bowl day and was like, yeah, it's out tomorrow or out tonight or something like that. And it was like, okay, it ended up working. Somehow that worked.
That just seems like weird form of publicity.
By the way, this movie's also being done through PlayStation Productions, so it's not being done through like Sony directly or anything like that. Because it's a PlayStation game, they have to be all weird and not just fucking do it through Sony, which is the same goddamn company.
Just announced God of War New 2. I don't know what they're gonna call it. Because they just called it
God of War again.
God of War, oopsie.
God of War even harder.
God of War,
the New Continent.
Gods of War. With a Z.
If they do it with a Z, I'm walking out. I'm leaving.
Boy. Also, oh my god, the ending of that game. Such a good ending. Golf clap.
Yeah, so they're saying the reason why it's PlayStation Productions is because, in quotes, one, because we're more familiar, but also because we know what the PlayStation community loves. This is the same company that thought we would love playing a movie rather than playing a game
Oh,
for their
God.
fucking final
All right, now
Uncharted.
tell me what they really said. Tell me what they really said.
No, that's a quote.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hit me with another story before I walk out.
Okay, we can hit you with another story other than Sony single-handedly trying to ruin Tom Holland's
Do we
career.
have shoe news? Because I did not find any shoes.
I can try to see if I can bring anything up, but I have not found shoe news this week. No.
Shoe news.
That one's gaming, so I won't do that one just yet.
Well,
Marvel's...
wait.
What?
We got an update.
Shoe news. What is it?
It's an update to an old story. We talked about Arizona iced tea
Oh.
sneakers. They have more flavors.
Hey, look at that. Watermelon.
Watermelon, what looks to be the another variant of the green tea. I like that one.
That one actually was
The
pretty good.
lemon.
I like the lemon. Lemon's actually my favorite flavor.
Yeah, mine.
Favorite flavor.
Mine is one that is like a subsidiary of Arizona called.
They're doing sandals here.
Ricky's.
Yeah, well, no, it says Arizona on the side.
It says Arizona on the side, but it's like Soda Shack.
It's a juice instead of it being
a tea.
And it's
so good.
a carbonated cherry limeade.
Yeah, it's limeade with a hit of cherry, and so good. Oh my god! There's grape, mango, lemon lime, and the cherry. I'm not a big fan of the mango, but I'll drink it if it's there because it's so goddamn good. But there's your shoe news.
Yeah, no, I don't like that song. I'm telling you, we got to find something better.
Well, then fucking give me something and I'll throw it in the middle of all this.
Start composing. You start composing. I don't understand music.
I
listen to music from bands that were dead before I was born. Okay, that's not actually true, but
I mean,
well, in some cases, it's.
In some cases, me too.
So I do have a few other things here. 14 years since it was released, Microsoft dropped an update for the Xbox 360.
And to which I gave you like a look over, kind of like the Vincent Vega
looking around the
room, and then I was holding a bag of trash from our
lunch,
and I was like doing the thing, and I opened up the trash, dumped it in, did the double take. I was like, I mean, I guess if it's for fixing things, and lo and behold, you said, yeah, bug fixes and all that. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, if it's still a console people still use and utilize and there's still security breaches, having the bug fixes would be very helpful for that because it's, watching your back.
Yeah, it is bug fixes. It didn't get any more detailed than, some bug fixes.
But that's been a year.
They did another one of those about a year ago.
Yeah.
And back in 2015 was when they actually did the last big update, which was one where you could redeem like the codes that they'll send you sometimes through Messenger and stuff like that. So I like that they have not just been like, console's dead, because I still use mine.
Yeah, I mean, there's one game that I know offhand a year that I know is made, and it's the soccer, the Pro Evolution Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I know. That's literally the only shoe. Oh my god.
Shoe.
That's the only game I know that is released both on the PS3 and the 360 still to this day. I don't know if they stopped doing it. Let's find out.
I'm pretty sure there's still some mobile ones that are out there running. They're not mobile. Online ones. That's what I meant. I don't know why I said mobile.
Oh no, I take that back. Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 did not release on the PS3 or Xbox 360.
I'm not surprised. I mean, maybe do a Google search. What still releases on the 360 or something like that.
Let's see.
I refuse to let mine die. I'm gonna ride mine until the moment he dies, and then I will go and buy another one. It's nice having something I can still go and play the games that aren't backwards compatible on.
Oh, I love that IGN's website broke.
Yay! We fixed our internet issues just to have their website be broken.
Yeah, there's
broken. Holy shit!
Yeah, there's two lines of. I can tell what it is. It's a basic breakdown because these are supposed to be pulled up.
That's interesting.
It's fine. There's supposed to be also something in the middle of these to show what's supposed to, but hold on, maybe I can gather it quick. Yeah, see, it was there for a second.
Yeah, for a brief moment. Yeah, it's the list. The list you're looking for briefly shows up before breaking.
And they don't look like games I recognize. Yeah, there's only 3. Yeah, there's only 3 from the look of it, and they don't look like anything I recognize. So.
Oh well.
Well.
I mean, he's still here. He's still running. That's all I care about. I don't need new games to enjoy what's already out.
This is one thing I wanted to bring up somewhere down the line before all the happy news of GamesCom.
Well, I got some angry news too. So where do you want to do the angry stuff at?
Let's get our anger out.
Okay, you want to do yours first?
So Riot Games is I don't want to say no stranger to being discrimination. No, I can't really say that either.
Use your mouth words.
Well, I'm trying to find the right ones because they are always in the middle of gender discrimination, even sexual.
Which one's Riot Games again?
League of Legends.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was a walkout not too long ago, but the game did not drop as far as users playing it. It's still going strong. There's just a few people who, are against it because of this issue. And right now they're doing a class action lawsuit, and everyone's afraid that Riot's going to go down and, say that it's going to close the entire thing down. If they lose a lot of money because of this.
Okay, but here's the thing. What is the lawsuit? You haven't actually.
Oh, it's basically a lot of females felt sexually harassed, misconduct, bias, that sort of thing against, of course, females. It was just.
So they're saying people in the workplace are being sexual
hostility.
Okay, so there's sexual harassment or hostility in the workplace from other workers.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like something in the game.
Oh no. Well,
is there something in the game?
There's a few little tidbits in the game that poke and prod at very, very subtly at other characters or otherwise, and I mean those are kind of tongue-in-cheek character dislike kind of thing, not as serious. But no, in the actual workplace, there is issues.
Okay.
And they did have a giant walkout in May, but it's like, did most of them go back? So I don't know what to say or do about it.
But
it's just agitating because of. I like a game.
Yes.
I like a game company for what they've put out.
Yes.
But do I like the game company for their practices?
No.
Okay. What do I do about it?
That's the thing. So we're in this place in society where if someone does something wrong, they're punished, which makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
But then we have to ignore anything they were connected to. Because otherwise, by liking the things that they had made, we are advocating what they did, is kind of what people suggest. Like, you can't watch... Well, you might be able to now because it's a little weird. Kevin Spacey's whole thing came out, and it was, well, we can't watch Kevin Spacey movies anymore. And it's like, I love several of his movies that were made 20 years ago. He's not making money off those movies anymore. I own the DVD, so he sure hell ain't making money off of me owning a DVD I bought 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to like his stuff anymore. Why is that? Like, he's not the only person in that movie.
Yeah.
Like The Ref, for instance. I love The Ref because of Dennis Leary. But Kevin Spacey's in it. Because of the Kevin Spacey thing, technically, I shouldn't like that movie anymore.
That's the Christmas...
That's the Christmas one, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, it's a real weird place. Or like The Negotiator. Samuel L. Jackson. Fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Kevin Spacey's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Or Pay It Forward. With the one that was set out here based off a true story.
The child who writes out the thing.
The kid that comes up with the whole Pay It Forward thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's this whole... It's a weird situation of, are you allowed to play League? Well, not every guy that worked on League is a shitty person.
No, of course not.
And then at the same time, there's the women that worked on League who still deserve respect for everything they did. So by playing League, you're supporting them as well, but there's also the chance that you're supporting the shitty dudes. And so it's kind of a thing. If Riot fires the shitty dudes, you're good.
I'm good. If
Riot doesn't fire the shitty dudes, that's where it's like, what do we do?
Yeah, like I know that like Mubi, Trinomir, Yomu.
Are these words, names,
they're nicknames.
people?
Nicknames. They're nicknames. I don't know their actual names because they built up either characters or items in the game, and their namesakes are based off those.
Okay.
I'm like, that's kind of neat. But yeah, all of them helped really make it, and I'm like, are one of these guys a part of this class action lawsuit? And I'm like, shit.
And that's the other thing.
It's another evaluation.
So that kind of comes to the point of like, well, we are mad at Riot because the class action lawsuit, I'm assuming, is about the fact that Riot isn't doing anything about the men that are being like this.
I guess.
And that's where it's like, okay, that is an issue.
Yeah.
If Riot's being told, hey, this dude keeps grabbing my ass or talking down to me or anything along those lines, then, and Riot goes, sorry, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I understand the lawsuit then. I understand the walkouts then. I fully support, no one should be treated like that. Male, woman, transgendered, whatever your situation is, fluid. If you're being treated that way and you talk to the people who are supposed to handle it and they ignore it, that's a problem.
That you're helping the actual issue.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to just see how it plays out. See if they fix the problem.
Yeah. I mean, they did say we want to make it right. And I'm glad that you said you want to make it right, but
making it right is firing this person for doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, plain and simple. If you can't act like an adult, you don't deserve an adult job.
That's a fair acclamation.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, if you can't compose yourself as an adult, how can you play with the rest of the adults?
Yeah. That's a fair acclamation. I may be 30, but I'll still sit around and play fucking League. And when they're like, "How old are you?" 12-year-old. I'm like, "I'm actually 30." Wow, you're old. Why the fuck are you playing this game? I'm like, it's fun.
Which actually kind of leads me into my mad news, I guess I could say. As long as you're done with the Riot thing.
I'm done. I'll still play the game every once in a while just because it's a nice burn off type of game before I get into like D&D or before I, as I'm getting home, eating some dinner, I'll, pop into an ARAM. I don't know. It's just, I'm hoping that this entire, both the walkout that was, I believe it was in May of this year, and the whole settlement that's going to happen fixes, well, I don't want to say fixes the entire thing, but helps fix this bridge and does indeed fire those that are guilty in this whole entire scenario.
Yeah. I think we're at the point now where it's, because I know a big thing with companies is sensitivity training, warnings. No. We're well past that at this point.
Fire them.
Fire people. It's plain and simple.
Make them accountable.
To bring us back to the earlier thing, Kevin Spacey was fired. They fucking shit canned him from House of Cards, and they finished the show without him. He was fired, which is kind of a weird thing because the stuff that he did wasn't at work. So that's kind of a weird spot.
But they don't want to be associated with it.
Yeah, that's always one that's kind of bothered me. If I get in a car accident because I'm texting and driving, should I be fired from my job making hamburgers? I did something wrong. It's not at the same level. I'm not trying to say it's at the same level because it's definitely not.
On if it was like a bad level sort of variance. I guess not, but at the same time, it shows that you are irresponsible to that degree.
Very true. So it's a weird thing. So Netflix fired him. So Riot needs to fire these people.
Yes.
It's plain and simple.
Oh,
fire them, and then we can just move on from this. There's plenty of good people out there that can take those jobs. People that will play fair and well with others and not overstep bounds.
And not harass women.
Not harass anyone. Because the Kevin Spacey thing, it wasn't women, it was men. Harassment needs to stop on all levels.
Same problem.
Yeah. You should go get a job at Riot. Like, they should fire these dudes and hire you because you're not going to harass anyone. You're going to stick to your cubicle and be like, don't talk to me.
What, you want me to
let me lay down this code. Go away.
you want me to make a character? I can do character development. Shit.
You're just gonna lay code all day.
I don't. I can do minor scripting, but I would rather do character development.
Go brush up your Python.
The Bilgewater Brawler, motherfucker.
Go touch up your Python and your C#. You'll be good. Plenty of online courses.
But I mean, I have a book on C#. I can just go through that.
There's actually a very brilliant book on C#. I can't remember the name right now, but it makes jokes to kind of help you get through the anger of fucking up your code.
Well, Sharp's easy. It's Python that's a real pain because if you mess up one small bracket or one small leeway down, it breaks the whole fucking thing.
And you could still break the whole thing in Sharp.
Well, yeah, but it at least tells you where you fucked up.
I don't remember.
You got to dig through each line.
Yeah, I think it's actually in Sharp, but it could be Python. I'm pretty sure it's Sharp though. Remember the shitty alien game? Colonial Marines?
Yeah.
Someone found out the reason why that game is so shitty is that they misspelt a word in code, and they had basically developed the line of code, and then every time they applied it after that, they were misspelling it, so it wasn't actually triggering the action it was supposed to. And
so you're telling me
broke the alien's AI, and when the person went through and fixed this code, the alien worked a lot better.
Really? So it was like color with OU instead of just the O?
Something like that. It was like tether or something, because it was basically one of the things that, if you remember, the alien a lot of the times wouldn't fucking focus on you.
I tuned the hell out of that game. I rented it from Redbox.
Okay.
When Redbox first started, now thinking about it. And I didn't hear anything about it. I popped it in. This was back on the PS3. And as soon as it was all ready to go, I popped in. I was like, holy shit, this is a swamp.
Yeah, I do believe the big problem was the alien didn't properly hunt you. Didn't properly try to attack, things like that. And
that. If I recall correctly, that was one of the issues. Yeah. The other issue was gunplay just felt horrible.
Well, yeah.
Like if you're gonna have recoil on a gun, have it bounce around. That's fine. Don't have it shake the entire screen to the point where you're feeling like you're putting your controller against your head with a rumble pack on, and your vision just goes with it. That's
Lord,
bad.
that was a deep pull.
I was trying to find a way to relevate. That was the best way.
But yeah, so like the alien's AI was broken literally due to one misspelling that happened several times throughout.
Oh.
And once fixed, the alien works the way it's supposed to.
Well, glad it took somebody fixing it to do that.
That was discovered this year.
Reminder. Oh no!
Yeah, that's how long it took for them to figure it out.
What else?
And it wasn't even someone that worked there. It was just a fucking person digging through the coding of the game. Okay, so my mad news.
Give me your Mad Max.
So I'm not actually going to get mad because I'm going to choose to ignore this. But
me.
Mark Maron. He's a comedian, stand-up comedian, actor, podcaster. He does the WTF podcast. It's actually a very enjoyable podcast, and pretty much just doesn't give a shit if you know how much he doesn't like things. Kind of continued his "I don't give a shit what you think" thing, and I'm proud of him for that. But at the same time, he's kind of attacking us. He recently came out and said, this is just a snippet of the quote, but he doesn't watch comic book movies because, if my phone would work, he doesn't watch comic book movies because they're for, in quotes, grown male nerd childs.
Now, while he's both not wrong and wrong at the same time, shut up.
This isn't the first time that we've been picked on for being nerds, and it won't be the last time we've been picked on for being nerds.
One of the greatest things that is currently becoming mainstream D&D was made by a 45-year-old man.
Yep. Because he was having fun with his friends.
He was having fun with his friends, started doing technically second edition at that time, and he kind of rolled back to first, like, built up a little bit more, and then here we are, five-ish generations later that have spanned over the years to something that is still being worked on to this day. I'm excited for the new book. I'm actually super hyped right now.
But not just,
but
D&D, all kinds of stuff. But he's talking about movies. The thing that does bother me about this, because people talk shit, whatever. I'm not even going to stop liking the guy, because while he doesn't like my movies, it doesn't mean that he doesn't like other things. It doesn't mean he's not funny.
It means that he's a little bit of a bitch for coming out like that, calling us,
Sure. I mean, I was mad at Bill Maher when he took jabs at us all for being sad about Stan Lee's passing.
And then took jabs at
Kevin Smith
for Kevin Smith saying, hey, you watch your dang mouth.
I don't even think Kevin said that.
Well, something similar to that sort.
But the thing that does bother me about Mark Maron coming out and saying these things, he's in the new Joker movie. So he's in one of these superhero movies that he's saying he doesn't watch because they're for grown male nerd childs. Like, motherfucker, you're about to get a paycheck. Very possibly, with the way this movie's looking, with the way people are reacting, very possibly a very big paycheck from these movies that these nerds are going to watch you in. So, the fuck, dude. Yeah. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get mad about it. I'm just going to ignore it because I'm from the time where you were picked on for being a nerd, not, you know, nerd's cool.
Nerd
like
culture
nerd
right
being
now.
cool is still new to me, you know? Like I spent many years being bullied for being a nerd.
Like, when I joined up with the D&D group on Facebook and I said that I was a DM, they were like, "Oh, how long you been doing that?" I said, "Off and on for like 6 years." And they were like, "Oh man, so you must have come up with some really good stuff way back when." I'm like, "What?
No, I'm
Oh,
shit.
I'm adequate, but what are you talking about?" And they're like, "Oh, we've only been DMing for like 2-3 months. You know,
Yeah.
we just got into it." And I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm being looked up at.
I watched the Dungeons and Dragon movie on HBO when it came after it
Wait,
dropped.
the first one or the second one?
The first one. I've never seen the second
Oh, the second one's much better.
one. I mean, I've always been a nerd. I've always been bullied and picked on for being a nerd, and I'm not going to stop being a nerd just because
It's cool now, but
it's cool now. I mean, I don't want to be a hipster either and be like, I liked it before it was cool. But my point is more, I'm used to the not being accepted thing. You know? That's not new to me. That's fucking whatever. So when Mark Maron comes out and says this, I'm not mad. I'm just mad that he's going to insult the people that are, you know, funding his paycheck. That's what bothers me.
yeah.
And did you figure out the Bill Maher thing?
Yeah, right here. This is
Okay.
what he originally said.
So originally he said, "Oh,
You want me to
what's
do
the top line too?"
Oh, I got it. But talk about making my point for me. Yeah, I don't know very much about Stan Lee, and it certainly wasn't a swipe at Stan Lee. Yeah, fine. I am agnostic on Stan Lee. I don't read comic books. I didn't even read them when I was a child. What I was saying is, a culture that thinks comic books and comic book movies are a profound meditations on the human condition is a fucking dumb culture.
Is a dumb fucking culture.
Dumb fucking, same thing.
Yeah.
And for people to get mad at that just proves my point. And I'm like, yes and no. Like, you got to figure, where does even if there wasn't a comic book movie or a comic book that led into a movie, if it's a movie, you got to figure that's going to be entertainment no matter what.
Yeah.
So just the fact that it's connected to comic books means that Bill Maher, was self-aware that he knows that comic books and comic book movies make money because just people want to.
Well, we talked about this off air. I mean, the Bill Maher thing's old news at this point. It's just it kind of
January.
yeah. Maron's thing just kind of harkened back to this, you know. And my whole thing is he wants to attack the comic book people and the people that like comics and all that shit. But
petty.
But the thing is if I came out and said something against pot culture, he'd get all flustered, you know, because he's a huge pothead. So if I were to come out and say the exact same thing he said, but about pot culture, he'd lose his fucking mind. We're all like that. We all have the things we like, and when someone attacks it, we get angry.
I don't think I have that. Like I'll hold my things personal, but I won't attack you for it.
Well, I'm not saying you'll attack me for it. No. My point is we all have things we like, and if people attack it, we will be upset.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't get the pot culture. I don't understand the obsession or the way people are about it. I've been a Bill Maher fan for many years, though. I have watched his movie.
He's a pothead.
Yeah, I've watched his movie. I have watched his show. So when he came out and did this stuff, I was like, wow, that fucking sucks. I'm not going to just stop watching his show, though, because he's doing his opinion.
Yeah.
I think the main reason he did his opinion is because it was controversial and it was going to get him trending, and getting trending is good.
Yeah, even though it makes you look like an antagonist in a movie.
You've heard the saying, there's no bad press. You know?
I guess.
There's no bad publicity.
Now thinking about it, yeah, that would kind of make sense.
Because what happened? Bill Maher's name was one of the number one things on fucking Twitter. It was fucking everywhere. Okay. And got in everyone's head. And you know what that reminds people of? Wow, fuck, you know, I don't agree with him, but shit, I haven't watched Religulous in a couple of years. I wonder if that's for rent somewhere. Or, fuck, you know what? Didn't he have Kevin Smith on it? Let me go onto my HBO that I pay for every month and go find that old Kevin Smith episode and see how he was towards a comic book nerd back then.
Yeah.
Controversy sells.
Controversy does sell.
I mean, that's why TMZ is still a fucking thing. I fucking hate TMZ.
I'm not a big fan.
But, I mean, other people fucking love it.
Yeah.
one person I can't believe that loves it is Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla fucking loves TMZ. He watches it when he works out. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, that never... he never seemed like the kind of person to me that would be into fucking TMZ.
I mean, I guess if you got something on your plate, you can just roll it off the plate and say, I don't want to eat that.
It takes all kinds of people, you know?
Yeah.
So when Marin or Mar attacks nerd culture, I just sit there and go, okay.
I mean, but look at where you're sitting.
I mean, Mar, sure, he's not making his money off nerd culture. The problem is what Mar doesn't realize is a lot of nerds are the kinds of people that watch the show as well.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people out there that watch the show that aren't, but there's plenty of people that watch the show that are.
Yeah.
With Marin, the thing I don't get is you're attacking the people who are going to go buy tickets to your movie that you're in.
Oh, shit.
Like, that's what I don't get, because you're in Joker and you just attacked us. I'm sure DC's like, bro. Warner Brothers is like, dude.
Wait, hang on, hold
ticket
on.
prices, man.
Yeah, hold on. I think you just hit... Oh, no. Where did our box office go?
I think the movie's going to be fine.
I think it's going to be fine.
I'm not going to go see it.
I'm
just not interested.
If I get that Tuesday off, I'll probably do a $5 ticket just because I was interested in it in the first trailer.
If someone went, hey, you want to go see this? I'd be like, not really. They went, I'll pay for your ticket. I'd say,
Okay.
all right, fine. If I see it's on HBO or Netflix or Stars or any of my 1,000,001 ways of watching fucking movies, I'll probably watch it.
Okay.
I just don't. It's not a movie that makes me go, let me get into movie-going clothes, because, you know, there's a difference between sitting at home and going to the movies.
Yeah.
Let me go and pay $12.50 for a fucking ticket. Let me go and buy a $5 popcorn. Let me go and buy a $3 fucking soda and go watch this movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit the notes for me to think that.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at on that. As where Scary Stories did. We went and paid full price on Scary Stories.
What'd you think of that, by the way?
That was really good. He did amazing for adapting what essentially is a bunch of short stories that were not connected. He found a way to connect them very well. It's not actually Del Toro that directed. He just produced. I thought he directed as well.
Oh, no.
They left it open for a possible sequel because there's 3 books and they pulled stuff from all 3, but they did not pull all the stories.
Yeah.
So they definitely left it to where you could have a sequel, but left it in a way that if there isn't, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
The practical effects were fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah. I saw the makeup for the 3 common
so
creatures.
You've got the Dream, which is like the big woman with the long hair.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Open Maw.
the open maw. I'm trying to remember, because I know there was a Scarecrow, which is Henry. You had like the big toe, which was the skinny
with the
scary
missing
thing.
big toe.
Yeah. And they're all like legitimate things. Okay, that's the Dream.
Yeah, she's a big maw.
Oh, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Open up her mouth.
She doesn't open up her mouth.
She doesn't?
No,
Oh.
that's just the Dream. She just kind of waddles. Looks like that.
Yeah. That's menacing.
They did the spiders for the pimple thing on the girl's face. That looked really well. That's the big toe right there. So what they did that was interesting. Spoilers for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark right now. Spoilers.
I mean, but to be fair, it's in a 25-year-old book.
Well, no, I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, it
Scroll back
it
up.
has its own independent story?
A little bit. So scroll back up. A little bit more. That right there. So this is something that's slightly different. Spoiler warning right now. If you don't want to hear this, skip forward a couple seconds. So they have the Jingly Man, and they have Boti, Oti, Walker, or Goatee. I don't remember the words. They combined them both into one thing. So that's the one where the head rolls down the fireplace and rolls out, and it scares the dog to death and whatnot. And then the Jingly Man, they made them one. They're one thing in this rather than 2 separate things. But it worked out pretty well. Spoiler over. I enjoy it. Go see it. I think he should have waited until September to release it instead of August.
Get that
'Cause-
Halloween?
Yeah, I think it could have done well for Halloween. The crazy thing is we go to buy the tickets and we're like, wait a minute. This movie's fucking PG-13. They pushed that PG-13. Shit is said in that movie multiple times. You see someone's neck get snapped.
I stand by it that it depends on the genre of movie. Depends on like the what is it? No, it's not ESRB. What's it called? Just the rating.
Yeah.
Rating. Well, it just depends on the rating, depending on the genre.
There is a committee that gives the ratings, and I don't remember what the fucking hell it's called.
I don't remember either, but even still, to get a PG-13 rating in an action film, you got to have more explosions, less actual death.
Yeah.
But then in
less blood.
Yeah.
Blood ups the rating for some reason.
Yeah, and then when you look at a scary movie, you're gonna kind of lean in toward the blood. But then again, if the parental guidance kind of leans back a little bit because it's going in with the acknowledgement of scare or fear, the PG-13 might be pushed in.
But I mean, that's the thing. So they don't say fuck in the movie. And if they do, it's once, which you can get away with one fuck in a PG-13.
That's their limit.
It doesn't really show blood. So that's another thing that helped it. Like, that's one of the reasons why Fox went back and digitally removed some of the blood and Live Free or Die Hard, is because that had gotten them a higher rating, and they decided they wanted that movie to go PG-13 for some fucking crazy-ass reason. What are you looking at?
Oh, he also did the screen story.
Yeah, he did the screen story for it.
Directed by Andre.
Yeah, Overdal? Overdal.
It's the O with the slash through it that I don't know how to pronounce because Swedish people are weird, but I love you, Swedish people.
It was very good. I hope they do a sequel. But like I said, I think I would have waited till September so that you get September, and if it's doing well enough, you make it into
Halloween territory.
Yeah, October. But you don't have to compete with anything coming out in October because at this point, it's the people that just liked it enough to keep going seeing it. We're on Bloody Disgusting right now, and they actually brought up one of our other news stories. If we want to move on to that.
What was it?
Right there in front of you.
Oh.
That one, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dead by Daylight. Quincy likes it. I'm okay with it. Just now got a Stranger Things crossover.
To be fair, I have it for free, so there's no downside to it.
Yeah. And it features the Demogorgon and I forget their names. I haven't watched Stranger Things after season 1. I need to catch up because I heard it's actually super good. But yeah,
I'll eventually sit down and watch the whole thing. I've just seen random episodes.
Yeah, I just need to
You'd think, considering it's not on basic cable, to where I could just get repeats or reruns, that I wouldn't see random episodes. Not in this household.
Not in this household. Never, ever.
But what I saw, I liked.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm hyped for it. The Stranger Things reveal is on the Dead by Daylight channel itself. They have a couple of the developers talking with one of the lead creators, and they just go over it for 40 fucking minutes.
So this introduced a new map, a new monster, and 2 survivors, right?
Yes.
So it's very nice.
I'm trying to find the actual game.
I feel like this is how they need to do content for this game, because when they did Myers, that introduced a new map and a new monster, but no new characters. When they introduced Freddy Krueger, they only introduced a new monster. When they introduced Ash as a survivor, they only introduced a survivor. They didn't introduce any new monster. They didn't introduce a new map. Nothing. Being able to introduce something in all 3 sections is how you make your money, I think.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be willing to buy that, and I mean, people are willing to buy the smaller things, but people are willing to buy that and pay a higher price. They did Ghostface from Scream. It's only Ghostface. They didn't bring any of the other Scream characters over, and they didn't bring over Woodsboro, the town.
Oh.
Which would have been nice. I would have loved to have been able to be in Sydney's room. That would have been fucking great. I got a few other things before we hit your big gaming stuff.
Okay.
So, after a good 4-year run, Marvel's ending its Star Wars Comic-Con issue 75. Sad to see it go. And The Matrix 4 has been announced, confirming Keanu Reeves will be back. Carrie-Anne Moss will be back. And they're also bringing back the concept artists Jeff Darrow and Steve Scorsese?
Scorsese?
No, Skroce.
Oh.
Scorsese. Scorsese. They did the concept art for the originals. They're basically the reason we have like the numbers running down and all that stuff. As well as Lana Wachowski is going to be at the helm for directing. I don't know if her sister will also be part of it. But basically, you've got pretty much
everybody back. But it's like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have anything confirmed for like
story
Morpheus or Agent Smith or anything like that. But what is this going to be about? Because if you watched the first 3, You kind of know that there's nowhere to go from here.
There's nowhere to go from there, but then you got the Animatrix, which kind of fills in a few of the gaps, but that also feels like it ends relatively well. You don't need any more. I don't. If I need to take guesses at what it's going to be, I think it's going to be a prequel sequel, which is garbage in my opinion.
So you're saying like the pre-sequel, like with Borderlands?
Kind of, because the pre-sequel is after 1 before 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be kind of how it is.
But there's nothing to fill in there, so I don't know. That wouldn't make sense either. Just there's nothing to fill in there. Like everything is filled in there.
That's why I don't know what they're gonna do.
And I personally, spoilers for the end of the third Matrix movie, I personally thought he died, and if he didn't die, he was at least fucking blind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was blind. He had that true, energy matrix sight, and Trinity's dead. Yeah. No. Spoiler over.
So, fun fact, Bill Nye actually talked about humans as batteries, the whole Matrix thing, and how it would not work and how we are a terrible battery because of all the waste energy that would happen because how we develop energy through feeding us and everything, and that they would actually be able to generate more energy by burning what they're feeding us than to actually feed us and use us for the energy. So, a little fun science-ness for you. But my last thing is actually gaming, so that can move us into your gaming after this.
Sure.
So we're getting the new DBZ Kakarot game, and they have confirmed that future Trunks will be completely playable in it.
Woo!
So that's fun for all of the DBZ fans. And I'll let you take over with your, what was it, GamesCom?
It is GamesCom, and it's still going on, by the way. So there might be even more next week.
And and next month I think is Xbox's convention. So a bunch coming up for that too.
So we got more Death Stranding. We watched Norman Reedus' character piss in a bush,
grow a mushroom by pissing in a bush.
Yeah,
and play with a baby.
And goddamn, Kojima was a happy boy. I do love seeing him up on stage. Because a couple years ago, when he was not allowed to go to the VGAs, I was like, but why, Konami? Give me an actual reason to why he could not go.
And I think this is why people don't let me run things, because if I'm the VGAs and Konami goes, Kojima's not welcome here. We don't want him on our panel because we're having whatever internal problems we're having. We don't want him here to accept awards and everything. If I was the VGAs... I just threw that. If I was the VGAs, I go, this is our show.
Oh, that's what they did. Yeah, they paid a lot of tribute to him. Had the actress that sang Quiet's theme up on stage.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, they struck.
I still would have invited him. I would have had him there.
They sent an invite. Konami locked him in. They landlocked him. They said you are not leaving the country.
How does Konami have that ability?
Contract. Something like that.
You can't tell someone they can't leave the country.
I don't know.
There
was something going on that involved something to where they said you leave, something's gonna happen.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck video conferences ass then.
Yeah,
like I would have done something.
Yeah, but
fuck that shit.
Yeah, even still, he got his thing, and he is one of the most wholesome people, even though his mind is an enigma.
Crazy.
My mind is a vast enigma.
So,
we got
Death Stranding is still looking kind of crazy.
It looks crazy, but it also looks really fun. I do enjoy the look of it. It looks like it has a huge story.
Huge map, too.
Yeah, huge map. It looks
huge map of nothing, though, is what it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know. There's gonna be the character Mama, and they have a lot of good actors in it. Mads Mikkelsen is showcasing that he has good chops. Troy Baker is playing himself in a video game finally.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Destiny 2's new DLC had a bit of a high spot.
Which is great and all, but it's like you guys postponed it.
Yeah, October 1st.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a while. Gears 5 got a push for the Horde mode that they have.
It looked kind of interesting.
I'm okay with it.
You're still trudging through 1.
I'm still trudging through 1, so I'm holding neutral. I hate 1. I'm not a fan of 1.
I think it's because you're playing by yourself.
That too, but I'm also like, the controls are clunky. Gunplay is all right. It's just whenever I'm using the sniper rifle, and I get shot once, and I pull the trigger at the same exact time. I shoot off to the distance, and I'm just like,
I mean, you were just shot.
yeah, but like, I'm peeking corners. I should not be getting hit like that. Is what my angle is.
You're a big clunky dude.
I'm a big clunky dude who should not be getting hit from doing peaks. But okay, that's fine. Whatever. Hopefully 2 does better. Hotline Miami Collection is going onto the Switch, and I'm like, Nintendo is finally saying yes to blood and drugs. Because that's all Hotline Miami is blood, drugs.
I'm a little surprised.
Anger.
But I mean,
and mental.
It's not something they're making. So.
Oh no! But they're allowing it to go onto it.
Yeah, I think they're realizing that they need to be a platform for everything, not just a platform for what they like. Otherwise, it's how many more crazy ass consoles can you come out with?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it becomes a stale market of console, but no games or family friendly games.
I'm still in the boat that I think that the Switch is an amazing idea and it's working very well, but I'm very much in the boat that I feel like they need to. If they can't come up with another console idea after this, it might be time to stop doing consoles and just become a publisher.
That sounds like a good idea. Okay.
Could you imagine being able to play Mario somewhere other than a crazy ass Nintendo console? How many more ideas can they come up with?
I'm hoping a few, because you can technically play as Mario on the 360. The Mario and Sonic Olympic Games was released on the 360.
Okay, that's a cop out.
That was a cop out, but am I wrong?
But you know what I mean, though.
I do know what you mean. An actual, legit Mario game. I get
so, opening up to other kinds of video games is how they're going to keep their consoles alive. The question is, how many more consoles are you going to do before you become just another Xbox or just another PlayStation?
Yeah.
And at this point, how many Xboxes and PlayStations are people going to put up with before they're like, I'm done? I'm already kind of feeling that way with Scarlet. Like, I kind of want Scarlet,
but not that much for the payment.
The price is what's scaring me away from Scarlet. I'll buy a Switch long before I buy Scarlet.
Same. Ori and the Blind Forest is also getting a release on the Nintendo. I recommend this game if you love the visuals of just an abstract painting that you can just interact with. It is a very fun, bubbly...
Yeah, give me guns. I'm joking. I mean, I can appreciate art in video games. But give me guns.
Blair Witch got another trailer, and it is Blair Witchy. It's very much VHS tapes, and
I'm wondering where it's at in conjunction to the movies.
From what I have seen so far, it is just before the children go and investigate.
So it's just before number 1?
It's just before the actual first movie, yes.
Okay, because you have 1 and 2. A lot of people didn't like 2. Then you have 3, which was like
straight to DVD.
Well, yeah, but that's not my point. 3, actually, a lot of people liked. 3 is the brother of one of the missing people going and looking for them.
Oh.
Yeah. So we actually have it if you ever want to watch it. But the story kind of got a little fucked up with Book of Shadows, which is number 2, because it wasn't the guys that made 1.
Yeah, and Book of Shadows was like the really edgy, not found footage one, right?
It still did found footage, but for the most part, it wasn't found footage. Like, they did get away from doing everything in front of cameras.
Staging.
Yeah, no. So it's basically a guy that's doing tours of the Blair Witch thing, and they all go out and they camp. And
like, they actually have an actress, if I'm not mistaken.
What do you mean? What'd you say?
They actually have an actress in one of the roles.
Oh yeah, they have an actor in one of the roles. The guy from Burn Notice is one of the main characters.
Oh, that's right.
But the issue with Book of Shadows was it was a very different story. Also, so Blair Witch, they go missing because of the witch, right? Like, she did something to them. Book of Shadows, she like controls them and gets them to start picking each other off. But then like frames them for it so that the cops find videos and stuff of them doing it so they get arrested. Like, what were you worried about, Ghost Witch? That the cops were going to arrest you if they knew you were doing them? You're a Ghost Witch. So why were you framing them?
Maybe there wasn't a ghost.
It was
Maybe
weird.
it was a man in the mask the entire time.
I don't hate the movie. I think the thing I hate the most about the movie is Jeffrey Donovan is in it. He's the one from Burn Notice. You see his ass. I think that's the thing I hate the most about that movie is seeing Jeffrey Donovan's ass.
Yeah, I think that would be a problem for me too. Yeah, but I mean,
Somewhere Jeffrey Donovan's like, fuck you.
that's fine. We'll
I'm a huge Burn Notice fan, so
same.
I really like. I mean, it's Bruce Campbell also. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's a terrible movie, but
Right.
it was definitely, it doesn't fit in with the rest.
Yeah, it'll be a good game because it comes out literally a week from tomorrow.
Cool. Do we have a price on that?
No,
No, please don't do that.
what?
Whatever that was. Because I mean, it looks cool, but we haven't seen enough that makes me go $60. Like, this had better be a 40 or lower game.
30.
Oh. Users can either play the game on Xbox Game Pass or purchase it for $30. We get it. Woo! Provided I update my banking stuff and they don't cancel my Game Pass because I switched banks.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Quincy.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. But hey, you get it for free.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Lauren will love that.
Yeah.
So, hey, we can actually come back with a review for you guys. So it drops when?
A week from Friday, so not this
Pull up the
coming.
map.
Huh?
Not the map. I'm
On
stupid.
the map, it comes out here, so it'll be
Okay, it comes out the
after next
30th
week's-
of August.
So on the 5th, we'll have it.
Cool. So yeah, we'll do a review for you guys on the 5th. We'll tell you what we think of being spookified.
Bad.
What else we got?
Another NBA 2K game, but this one features a really nice looking Idris Alba.
Which is a little weird. I'm guessing he's like a coach.
Either a coach or a team owner.
Okay.
Because he is in the locker room with a guy who takes a hard hit and
Breaks his leg or something like
breaks
that.
his leg, and then he has to make his way back because that's 2K is slowly in the idea of
Giving story rather than you just building a fantasy team.
Yeah, or building your character to be a part of that team.
Which is weird and cool at the same time. So it's like we went through the Madden years and everything where it was, just being able to play as your favorite players and build your favorite teams and stuff like that. But now we're kind of getting into the like, well, what if we let you still do that? But there's a story mode too.
Did you know that Spike Lee did NBA 2K18?
I did not.
Yeah, he wrote it.
Wow. That kind of makes me want to go play 2K18. I don't even like NBA games.
Yeah.
Like, I respect Spike Lee.
There's actually like a curve to where your girlfriend at the time is giving you a lot of hassle because you're not spending time with her, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then it begins to devolve. Your best friend gets into a little bit of a controversy, and it involves you directly.
Now, do you think we have the WWE games to thank for the concept of putting story modes into other sports games? Because they were always story-based.
Certain ones. There was one back on the PS1 era that was just so cheesy, campy, corny, but it was so good.
Yeah.
I want to say, I think it was Know Your Role. I think it was WWF
Probably.
Know Your Role. But it was one of those early on. It was very fun, but at the same, like the story was just garbage. But
Yeah.
it was just so good.
But I mean, that's been like the main concept of the WWE games is it's not just, getting to play as your favorite wrestler or getting to, do your dream match or anything like that.
Tell your story.
You either pick a superstar that you're going to take through the ranks or you create your own superstar that you're going to take through the ranks and tell a story.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I feel like it's kind of bleeding into things like NBA 2K20 and hopefully into some other games too. Like, could you imagine having a bit more of a story to your NFL game, or your MLB game?
Yeah.
I just want a good MLB game again.
The show's still going strong.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I haven't played an MLB game in a couple of years. There just hasn't been one that jumped out at me in a while.
The only downside is it's also slowly turning into one of those pack card game kind of things.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's slowly becoming that because one of the Discord mates, Celtics, you can gather why he's named Celtics. He enjoys all of the sports style games and he plays MLB on stream.
Mm-hmm.
And he was I clicked over once and he was picking up some cards and I was just like, is this what it's become? FIFA, NBA, MLB. Soon NFL will probably pick up that trend of pick a card for a better character. Oh wait, they did with Madden. And I'm like, Jesus.
So this was just reminded me, because you said Celtics, I have a movie that has got to be added to the list.
Okay.
1996, Celtic Pride. It's Damon Wayans, Daniel Stern, and Dan Aykroyd.
I'm sorry. Wait. Dan Aykroyd and... What was the first name you said?
Damon Wayans. So Major Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Daniel Stern. So
that one I don't know.
one of the robbers, the one that's not Pesci in Home Alone.
Oh,
Yeah.
the name escaped
yeah,
me for that moment.
two-
But holy shit!
Two overloyal Celtics fans kidnap their opponent's star player in order to guarantee their team the championship. And nonsense ensues. It's fun. I love it.
Okay.
I have a friend who's a Celtics fan who has never seen it, and I don't understand how you've never seen this movie. I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm not even really an NBA person. I've seen this movie.
Okay. There was more Stadia news, but I don't have much to want to talk about that this week. Next week, I'll have everything, and I'll have an actual in-depth coverage for it. So be aware. I want to talk about it.
There will be Cyberpunk.
There will be Cyberpunk on it. There will be 2 exclusive games at launch, but they are kind of keeping the wraps on it until probably PAX East.
Is
Or
Cyberpunk
PAX Prime.
is Cyberpunk exclusive to a console?
No.
Okay.
No,
I
it's
wasn't sure.
Yeah, no.
It looks like one of those games you expect to be PlayStation exclusive.
No,
It's got that. You know what I mean, though. It's got that feel.
It's got that feel. But no, Project CD Red is very good at wanting to get their games out there.
Good.
I'm excited for Cyberpunk 2077, but they did a little bit of the first-person hacking and motorcycle riding, and I'm like, okay, cool. You get to ride around on a motorcycle, and I'm curious to. I want vehicle combat. There's a lot of games that don't do vehicle combat at all or correctly. They just have it to where you get like little perks to nudge people off the road. This one,
You need to play Mad Max.
Mad Max?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let
Because
you
I want to look out the side window and just start hauling bullets at something.
Okay, so Mad Max, your vehicle combat is
I saw
less
that you had the grappling hook thing.
Yeah, you have to like upgrade the car. So you got the grappling hook thing. You've got the things that they throw that blow up. You've also got ramming people. And then you've got your shotgun.
Okay.
But it's, breaking down the cars to the point that you can actually cause them to crash, driving yourself the proper way, things like that.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. I'll let you borrow it.
Okay. Need for Speed Heat got another couple little bits. They actually had some gameplay. It looks like an old Need for Speed game. It
But
doesn't look
at
like
today's
Rivals.
standards.
It doesn't look like Rivals. It doesn't look like Payback. It looks like maybe Hot Pursuit.
Okay, so like we were hoping this
Like,
might be the Need for Speed game for me.
And there is 2 different trees that you kind of have to go down. One for the money and one for the rep, or the heat, if you will, because you have to, of course, every time you run away from the cops, you earn heat.
Okay, that's cool.
And I'm like, yeah, with the heat comes extra unlockable parts that you can get, like harder kits to your actual like exhaust or otherwise your performance gear.
Mhm.
And then meanwhile, your money is for the to actually pay for the upgrades and for cosmetic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right. Now show me some driving. Showed me driving. I was like, okay. Drifting is back. It looks like it feels so comfortable.
Are you the kind of person that drives? What camera angle do you pick?
I tried to do third, but I'll do either. I'm ambidextrous as far as that, but I
prefer
like third.
I like third, but I like the third that's a little further pulled back. You know how some of them have third, and then they have like where if you click again, it pulls it just a little further.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Okay,
I suck at racing games, but that's the one I like.
Yeah, either one works for me. I prefer third.
I don't normally do first person on racing.
I started doing it with Forza just because of how you have to actually slow down into turns because drifting in that game not easy.
Yeah,
and it bothers me. I'm like, let me handbrake. I love utilizing the handbrake to just clip that corner, that little extra bit, and then hook that outside of the entire street and line myself back up. Not have to slow down, make that turn, and I just don't like hitting the brake. If I can avoid hitting the brake, that's how I like it. Unless I know that turn's gonna need it, you know. Kerbal Space Program 2 got a very nice cinematic trailer, but I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it had shit exploding and had things falling apart, people screaming.
Well, I mean, have you ever failed to build a space ship in Kerbal Space Program?
Yes, but
then you understand it.
I understand, but at the same time, I'm like, is this gonna just be a boost of one? Is there gonna be a story to it?
I'm assuming it'll be a boost of one.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't show any gameplay. It just showed that very, very well put together cinematic. It was nice to look at, but that's
it launches next year, sadly.
Yeah. Little Nightmares 2. I played Little Nightmares 1.
Okay, I've seen Little Nightmares 1, but I have not played Little Nightmares 1.
It's very unsettling. It made my stomach quease every so often.
Yeah,
during
but cheese
certain
will do that if we do it right.
You're right. But I'm very... I don't want to say excited, but I'm very hopeful for this. I don't think I'm going to get it at launch. I'll probably wait a little bit. And I didn't know that it was made by Bandai Namco.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
It launches when? Does it say?
I don't think there's a day.
It's alright. But it will launch on all consoles and PC.
It just says 2020.
Okay, so next year.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Life is Strange Episode 4 finally getting its launch. I
feel like it took forever.
It is taking forever for that. I'm not excited for it because I personally don't see relevancy for it.
So this is making me wonder the
Go for
amount of time it's taking for them to launch these and the issues that we saw with Telltale. Are companies that do episodic games thinking, well, the game's not finished, so we'll launch what is and work on the rest while people play that.
I mean,
not realizing it doesn't take that long to get through an episode.
No, but it takes 8 times as long to build that episode.
Right?
So it's, I don't know. With the Telltale Batman, like, I was like, holy shit, I can't wait to see their next part of that if they do the next part.
Look at Wolf Among Us.
And, oh, you just depressed me in one easy word.
Go read Fables.
I will read Fables, but I will.
I would read Wolf Among Us. They did a Wolf Among Us show, like,
they did
how we would have played the game.
They did, but at the same time, I would have preferred it in a video game medium.
Yeah, no,
because it felt more comfortable to
Make
me.
your own. Finish learning Python.
No. I've got other things to make because I'm starting up I'm looking into that website thing. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
But you have to make a website with Python. It wouldn't work.
I think it can work. It's just it would be a little bit of different framing.
I'm not sure that would work.
It would work.
HTML and Python are very different.
They're very different, but I think I can do it.
I'll
fight you.
Yeah, no, I think that's the issue though. Like, Life is Strange 2 should not have been dropped until Life is Strange 2 was finished.
I don't know. I mean, this is the last one.
They're only doing 4 episodes?
For this one, I think.
Ouch.
Penultimate.
That's short.
What does penultimate mean?
Yeah, that's done. That means they're done.
Last one. Last but one? Second to last.
Okay, second to last.
Sorry, that word.
Okay, so they're doing 5 episodes. I guess that's a little bit better.
That's 5. So it's like the last one. Well, last 2.
What was the first one like?
5 episodes, but the entire 5th episode was jarring.
Okay, and then they did Before the Storm.
Yeah, Before the Storm was 5.
Okay, and then this is 5. Okay, that's fine. 5, 5, and 5. That works.
Yeah, and Wolf Among Us 5.
Yeah, that's a different company though.
I know, but what I'm saying is everything's 5 as far as both of the Batmans 5.
I'm still only 4 on Batman.
On the first part?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I had to restart it twice.
Get through that. Get through that because the entire second part or the second what is it called? Enemies Among Us?
Yeah.
That one's amazing.
Riddler's in it, right?
Brief appearance.
Okay. Damn. I thought it was bigger than that. They used him for some of the ads.
I need to go back through it then because there's probably a thing where it kind of you can choose, you can talk to the Riddler and handle his stuff, but there's actually choices you make between the League of Villains.
Oh, okay.
That's there.
Cool.
Yeah, it gets
that one's gonna be multiple playthroughs.
It's multiple playthroughs, but as well as there's Freeze actually has a big part in it.
Nora.
So, but back on Life is Strange, I didn't mind the first one. The first one was really good. The twist hit me hard.
Okay. I haven't finished it, so don't spoil it.
I'm not. Before the Storm, I'll admit there was a few things that made me nod at and go, okay, this was good to know, but at the same time,
you always kind of have that issue with a prequel where it's like, well, I know everything turns out all right because we still have to have one.
It was still a good story. It was still a great story.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know how it goes out because it's Chloe. She lives through it all, et cetera, et cetera. But there was
because if she doesn't, you don't have the first episode of 1.
Yeah. And then you kind of look around at what she had to deal with before, and I was like, okay,
I like the size of the episodes.
Yeah, they're pretty
good.
filling.
Yeah.
But then I played the first part of Life is Strange 2, and I felt uncomfortable.
Like uncomfortable because of good writing, or uncomfortable because of bad development?
Both. Like I had a hard time figuring out a small little tidbit of what to do. And the kid kept talking to himself, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? And I felt like the game was rushed to the degree that he could have said something, or usually with Telltale games, they usually like pan over to, a thing of interest. If you're, there for like 6-7 minutes,
Yeah.
they'll usually pan over to something like in a Sam & Max game.
Yeah,
if you're
I
in a
understand.
place that you're looking around, but you're missing the thing that you're supposed to be picking up, or thing you're supposed to be combining or interacting with, they'll pan a camera directly to it for like 2 seconds with like the bodily vision.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, oh, okay. And you walk over to it and you inspect it, and he goes, oh, yeah, I had one of these when I was a kid. And, he begins fucking around with it. And
That's my toothbrush or something.
yeah, Sam & Max was God. That bums me out that we're not getting any more of that, because as soon as every single of those episodes released, I was on them.
I could easily jump up there, but I need something taller.
Yeah. God damn.
Sam Max is goofy and
Sam
fun.
& Max is... I would get a tattoo of Max right now.
I'm not getting Sam. I'm not doing matching tattoos with you.
That's fine. I don't care. I'll get both then. Fuck you.
We've talked about this. Let's move on.
The Witcher is going on to
Witcher
Switch
3.
Witcher 3, all of it, the complete edition. We already talked about it going to Steam not too long ago. Well, guess what, bitch? It's going to Switch.
I wonder how well it'll play.
Apparently the optimization things, because when the Switch first came out, and I think it was WWE 2K either 18 or 19, did not run well.
Mm-hmm.
It was getting 15 frames on both the handheld and on the screen.
Yeah.
And it was just a little bit of bad optimization. They fixed it. They fixed it to today.
Good.
So I'm thinking that now that they're actually porting them properly to these consoles, I think everything will be fine. I think everything will be squared away. The worst case is a little bit of cell shading for like hair, because the console is strong. The console itself is beautifully strong. It's just I worry about heavy textures.
I think the big problem is the console, while strong, was built with the concept of playing Mario,
Breath of the Wild, Mario Party, Mario Kart.
very cartoonish graphics.
Yeah. Cell shading heavy on the bring back. But then when you play, when they showcased No Man's Sky, the VR variant, and as well as the Switch variant, it looked like it was played on a PS4. To be 100% honest, it looked pretty. It looked stark. It looked good. So it just makes me wonder, maybe differential of games. Maybe it is strong enough to play it with proper. I'm super curious about loading times, considering it's on a chip and not a fucking disc. So it's a we'll see kind of thing. But I'm super happy about that. Eastward, a game made by Chucklefish, one of my favorite developers, because they do a lot of character building games that are heavy in story and creativity. Both. They try and make those work hand in hand. Like they made a Harvest Moon-esque game,
Okay.
Stardew Valley.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then earlier, a couple of years before, they made Starbound.
Okay.
And they just enjoy exploration. They enjoy the idea of creation. They enjoy everything.
I'm liking the artwork for this one so far.
Yeah, it's a very pretty game, and you play as an older gentleman taking care of a younger girl, and
So it's Last of Us.
kind of, but your weapon's a fucking frying pan.
It's Dead Rising.
So it's Dead Rising, but you escort the girl and protect her.
Which I recently started playing 4 again, and I forgot how much I love that game.
Yeah, and God, this animation is just so goddamn good. Oh,
That's interesting.
Yeah, they do a lot of lights. One of the things of, if you're far away from her for too long, she begins to worry, and she tries to find you.
Interesting.
And yeah, she doesn't want to. Yeah, and basically what you're doing is, from what I gathered from the original trailer, is that you are in this town, you enjoy the town, but you want to leave. You want to go east.
Well, if you enjoy the town, why manifest destiny yourself?
Well, yeah, no.
So is it Switch exclusive?
No, it will be released everywhere.
Cool,
but
cool.
It's just the fact that it's at GamesCom. There's a lot of things being announced for Switch, Stadia, that they just announced it for the Switch.
Gotcha.
Streets of Rage 4. Yeah,
I'm horribly excited.
I'm excited.
I didn't play Streets of Rage as much as you guys did.
Oh yeah, whenever we had the.
I love the fact that they jumped in just like classic shoot. This looks great.
Yes, it does.
I'm loving this.
I fucking yeah.
We need this.
Yeah, I will probably lean in and buy it, but then again,
I can finally get Lauren to play a video game with me.
Guess what?
What?
It might be available on Xbox Game Pass.
Fuck yeah! I knew there was a reason I have 2 controllers.
Yeah.
When's it come out?
Soon. I don't.
Soon.
Soon. Also, it has updates of all the original music.
You said soon, and the way you said it set me
Soon.
off. I'm sorry. Spoon. This looks good.
Let's see if I can't get a date.
Oh
Shit. Close that out.
But
to be announced. Damn.
that sucks.
But
TBA.
to
It's
be
got to
fair,
be soon.
yeah. I mean, to be
If
fair,
they've got it at Games, if they've got it GamesCom, that's got to be soon.
yeah, GamesCom, and it was like they had the character select with the 3 characters that they have right now. They said that they were going to open up to 6 total.
Nice.
That one's a rumor. They said that there's a lot to really do. But yeah, no, I'm soon because look, this is episode 6. Like, I want it. But yeah, Axel's a part of it, and the other 2 do not come back from it. So that's a kind of a bummer.
They're probably the other part of the 6.
Maybe.
Okay, what else we got?
We got a little bit of Ghost Recon Breakpoint stuff. I'm ecstatic for that. I mean, more Ghost Recon's always good.
Multiplayer 4-on-4 thing.
Yeah,
It actually looked really good, and they had a good roll to them.
Oh yeah,
we saw.
Every animation seemed to have been fresh.
Yeah.
For different guns, the reload animations looked fresh. The dives, one went feet forward, one went face forward, who rolled around onto his stomach and then just like slided his ass up and stood up. And I was like, okay, that was a bit much, but that looked cool. I'm just hyped for it. Marvel's Avengers got more prologue gameplay. Quincey and I talked about this pre-stream, but he was saying that he would prefer if it was open world. And I'm like, maybe after the prologue it does open up.
Because right now it looks very Call of Duty story mode, especially in the early days, where it's like it's leading you through areas that there's only one way to continue. You are always surrounded by something, making sure that you're only going to go one direction.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sure it'll open up, and then
Thor looks a lot better in this trailer than he did in the first one.
Thor looks better.
His hair's still a little wonky.
Iron Man looks a little bit better. I didn't see Cap, but then
well,
again, it could have been later.
First trailer, if you remember, Cap gets kidnapped.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Or
then.
killed or something right off the bat. Something happens to Cap right off the bat in the first trailer.
Oh!
Can we see her face? Is there a way you can get me?
Oh!
You're going, isn't telling them what you're looking at.
There's Taskmaster.
Yeah, we skipped forward because we actually originally watched the first 6 minutes of the 18 minutes of gameplay they gave us. So we fast forward pretty far in, and you're currently Black Widow fighting Taskmaster. And this looks better than the movie picture we have so far.
Yeah, he looks great.
But try to pause it on her face.
Okay.
Because her face was one of the roughest designs I saw from the first trailer.
She's not going to face the camera anytime soon, my dude. We're getting that red hair.
Which is great, but...
Isn't she supposed to be blonde?
No, she's redhead.
Oh, okay.
She's supposed to be Russian, though, which they seem to forget. At least in the movie. The issue was, okay, that looks a little bit better. Yeah. That looks better, because there's a meme I've seen going around that very much shows how I felt she looked originally. That's a lot better. Okay. This gameplay looks better than the original trailer, because they did a comparison of the first trailer and the chick from The Office dressed as Black Widow.
Oh, no.
And it was perfect.
Oh, God.
The older, slutty one that everyone's like grossed out by in The Office. Yeah, she's the one they compared her to, and it was there's some good face shots from a cinematic.
Yeah, I saw it. I was just rolling.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. They seem to be having an issue with hair though.
God, everybody was having a problem with hair, and then all of a sudden it was faces that was the problem. Like Square Enix made hair perfect, but their faces would disappear.
Now
know.
faces are better, but what's going on with the hair? again?
Hair, I don't know. Hair tech was starting to do really good through, I think it was Microsoft that was starting to push people to work on better hair, and I'm like, eh. And then Square Enix was like, more hair, good hair, and then they look over at Hitman, less hair. I don't know. I just know that they didn't put too much effort on the hair for the hits on.
You ever notice? You see bald people, right?
Yeah.
You see bald people in regular life. You see bald people way more often in Hitman, just because he has to be able to look like everyone around him.
Oh yeah, shit, that's right.
Hitman makes you think like half the population's fucking bald.
Oh Jesus Christ! But Taskmaster. Oh.
Yeah, Taskmaster looks good.
Like it doesn't look like OG, but
He looks good.
That's good for modern take.
I don't want to give that spoiler. I almost gave you a spoiler.
Oh.
He shows up in something, and I'm gonna leave that alone.
Hala.
But no, this is definitely looking better. See, there's a statue because Taskmaster like kills him.
Oh.
At the end of the first trailer.
I missed that part, but yeah, okay. There's a mural for him. Oh.
But then Mjolnir starts to
Mjolnir.
move because he needs them.
Mirror.
I don't know. It looks like it has the potential to be a really good game, and I trust Square Enix. It's just some of it's a little rough. That was Abomination.
Okay.
They just showed Hulk squaring up with Abomination. Cool.
All right. So, I mean, how does that make you feel from the first really bad trailer to now?
This is better for me.
Okay.
This gets me back in the realm of going, I might get it at launch, and out of the realm of I might wait for it to go on sale.
Okay.
I'm not in I will pre-order realm yet, though. I need more for pre-order.
Yeah, that's fair. So Synced Off Planet is a zombie-esque drop-in type of shooter. We didn't
But with some future tech.
Yeah. Hang on. There's gameplay here. It's 2 minutes of gameplay where it's just what is it called? Division, but a little bit better build.
Division, but with zombies. Cool.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a really cool concept.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the Division. So.
Yeah, and like there are of course human characters that are of course like Raider-esque, if you will.
Yeah.
That are still going to cause you problems because they can't just have a lot of runners. And I mean, look at that. Look at how many people are on screen right now.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. It does look way Division-y though.
But that's okay because
That's
I feel like the Division thing can work in this platform.
I concur, but I just wish that it wasn't as intrusive.
Is it made by Ubisoft? Because if it's
Uh,
made by Ubisoft, that's probably why. Because Ubisoft did Division.
we gonna find out.
Let's find out. What does it say?
No, Tencent. Who is?
Oh wait, it's Tencent,
Yeah.
the like #1 shitty company from China that is the reason why fucking so many people are broke.
Let's find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Tencent Holdings.
Yeah, they're the ones that like own all the microtransaction games that are killing people financially on your phone.
Oh, that's not good then.
At least I'm pretty certain that's who Tencent is. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize to them, but I'm pretty sure that's who Tencent is.
I'm going to go ahead and take over track, but I'm going to say the game looks
Just
good.
real quick, Tencent mobile games. I know that they launched a PUBG ripoff and then immediately had to take it down. Okay, they did Call of Duty Mobile, Age of Valor, Chess Rush. Yeah, they do a bunch of like pay to win type of games.
Interesting.
So that makes me worry that the game will be the same style.
Oh, Chess Rush is an auto battler that was released on July 4th. Oh no, they tried to get on the market and they did do PUBG Mobile.
Yep, they did PUBG Mobile, but they also ripped it and
Contra Return?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Regular PUBG also, it looks like.
No, for
Yeah. Yep, the PC.
Interesting, because I don't remember seeing them for that. I remember it
Wait,
was always
what Marvel game was
Blue
that?
Hole. Huh?
What Marvel game was that?
Avengers of a sort.
Some kind of Chinese Avengers.
Chinese Avengers. Okay. Avengers: The Ultimate Hero is a Chinese role-playing game by Tencent. So yeah, I don't. Oh no, this is incorrect. This is incorrect. This is incorrect.
It's got what? League of Legends, October 27th, 2009.
Riot's always been in hold of League.
Is that the same League of Legends? Because look at that seal. That looks very different to me.
Maybe the Chinese variant? Maybe the Chinese server for it.
Maybe.
I
I don't know. I've just heard 10-cent in the news every now and then, and it's
Yeah.
normally linked to a lot of money going out your pocket because of a game that doesn't really need it.
Can I get this image? I guess I can't get that
Guess
image.
not. All right, what else we got?
We also have one of the best games that got into a open beta. I don't want to call. I mean, a pre-order beta. Remnant from the Ashes, where you're basically you and a couple friends hop in and just fight Cthulhu. Go. That's the whole thing.
It's all very Cthulhu-esque creatures, Blood Soul-esque creatures, Dark Souls-esque creatures, but you have guns.
You have guns, and it's available now.
You have melee weapons too, but you have guns.
Yeah, it's available now. Blades are just as good as guns. Guns are great. You roll slow, you roll fast, depending on how much you're wearing, that sort of thing.
You eat bread, you don't eat bread. Wait.
Yeah, you get $40 for this motherfucker. Oh my god.
Well, you don't get $40. You spend $40.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
That.
I am too fucking hyped for this. This is great. I watched a streamer play it, and he was having a good old time. There's damage numbers, damage rolls. There's stat boosting. There's mid-maxing builds. It's great. It's fantastic. Disintegration. I showed you the trailer for that.
And I immediately went, Destiny?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a part of it, considering it's being made
You said it is by Bungie.
People who worked, I don't know if it's either worked for Bungie.
Oh, if it's not by Bungie, then it's not going to be.
Let me show you what it says. Founded by the co-creator of Halo. So it has Bungie-esque feels.
I mean, Bungie was part of that whole thing, yeah, but
I don't know. Hard to say.
So it's not. I don't because it doesn't have Bungie name anymore on it. It won't be connected to Destiny is my vote, but it is definitely. It's definitely giving you Destiny.
Yes, and it looks good.
Destiny, but with vehicles, other than the fucking Sparrow.
God, it looks so good.
The Destiny with bigger guns,
bigger than
and
the
destroyable environments. It looks like
minor ones, yeah. Oh my god, it looks good. I'm kind of hyped for it.
I mean, it looks very interesting. I'll definitely look more into it as we find out more. So,
another trailer from Greedfall. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, I think.
Yeah, GamesCom kind of opened it up to your character skill trees and how they evolve.
Kind of showed us a little bit more of the weird, things on people's necks.
Yeah, and your love interests. You can now have a great love interest. And
in my games, either I am completely celibate or I am in love interest with everyone.
Yeah,
there is no in between.
I'll in Fallout 4, I'll pick that one.
Nope, Fallout 4. His wife died. He does not fuck anything.
You're right. I should have been like that.
That's how I am.
I should have been that mentality.
He is cold. The only companion my guy takes with him is dog meat. I don't even think it's called dog meat in that universe, but or not universe, but in that game. But he's dog meat.
Yeah, but Shenmue 3 gets fucking more cinematic trailer and gameplay. Guess what? It's all the mini games and the crummy fighting.
Oh dear Lord!
I know. I say crummy fighting just because it's quick time event fighting.
I'm really worried
about Shenmue.
I'm so worried that they left the fucking hiking in there.
Yeah, they probably did. And then
Shamu would not approve.
And then a few more little bits from Watch Dogs Legion. I kind of wanted to throw this at the very end because I know you're a big fan of.
I am a big fan of Watch Dogs, and I am very excited for this, and I'm all open for seeing more.
Look at that.
I definitely want to whoop people's asses as a grandma.
That's just that. All these scenes are just really good because of how dark it gets.
The mask looks really cool.
Yeah,
that mask looks really cool.
It gets super dark, super quick, and they rumored with that a bit of co-op, and I'm like, don't do things like that unless you can say, and you're doing it alone or something.
So there's already many little co-op mission type things, and there's already the hacking other people and stuff like that you get in number 1, number 2. So them taking co-op a little further wouldn't surprise me. I kind of hope they do. I think the only thing I want from this that I am not seeing is coming up with more for the hacking.
Yeah.
So,
the other thing, you can, here's the scene. Look at this. Just watch. Just
an old man with a really big gun.
Yep.
You may die randomly because you took over an old man.
Yeah.
And it's permadeath. Well, then I'm just gonna take over old characters.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know what the permadeath thing meant, but I don't know what that meant.
It looks like there's gonna be a lot to take in on this game.
There's gonna be a lot, and I'm super keen on like all their takedowns, all the actions you can do against people. I'm keen. I'm super keen.
I do find it interesting. Like, it's getting heavier and heavier into the killing people.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be an actual active rebellion against all the government, because the government is actually 300% wrong, and they are aiming to actually be a problem to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a simple we're gonna hold our ground. No, they are actually.
you killed people in the first one. It was a whole big issue with the fact that the vigilante's killing people, and that's why your sister had issues with it and everything and whatnot. But for me, I always I felt like I didn't kill nearly as many as the story made it seem like. We got very John Wick here with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Gun fucking kata, yo. But I'm keen for it. Like, I never played 2. You said you're gonna let me borrow 2 somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
I'll have to return to you some things first.
Yeah, you borrow too much of my shit.
Yeah, you have a lot of shit that I don't have.
God, I have so much shit.
I've got a lot of shit too.
I'm on the verge of buying it. I'm gonna pull the Guillermo del Toro. I'm gonna buy a second house just for my comics. He did that.
He did that?
He bought a second house because he has so many comics.
Wow.
Man after my own heart.
Other than that, there was a few other small-time notices, but I don't have much to talk about them because we already talked about them. It's
cool.
Just more on top of that.
So we'll see what GamesCom gives us for the rest of the week and hit you guys then.
Yeah.
But that is March 6th for Legion.
Yes.
Cool. Not that far away.
A bit of a stone throw.
2020 is getting here quick.
Yeah, it is.
I can't believe how far we're already into August.
And yet it's still fucking hot.
Wow, it's Vegas. It was 113 yesterday.
Oh.
I came home and just peeled my shirt off of myself.
And we went walking yesterday.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I was working.
Yeah.
So that's what we have for you guys today.
That's what we have for you today. Next week, we will talk about both of the Blade Runners.
Yeah, we're doing Blade Runner tonight.
Both of them.
So 1 and 2, or 1 and 2049. So we'll give you guys all that. This is your first time for both. My first time for 2049. So, and we went with Final Cut on Blade Runner. There's all kinds of different versions of this movie. Final Cut it's pretty good, and that's the version we went with here. So, the director, I think, kind of butted heads with the studio on some things, and so there was a lot of mixing
about
around.
The final.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is the one people have just come to accept as the story.
Okay.
And I think it fleshes things out pretty well for you.
Just as long as it does that, I don't care.
I think you'll definitely ask me a few things throughout the movie, and I'll have to explain a few things because there's things that I didn't even get until my second time through. So.
Wow. All right. Well, remember to check out our links, email us stuff, tweet us stuff at our proper ads.
One final thing.
Oh.
A while back, we pulled a loot crate from our links at the bottom.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right.
And it turns out that was a good thing because Loot Crate announced that they are laying off a bunch of their employees. They are going bankrupt. They're filing bankruptcy, and they promise to send out the remaining crates, but they're done.
Damn shame.
Sad to see him go, but
hey,
I can't say I'm surprised.
Hey, Loot Crate, if you got any more extra large Diablo shirts from your August of 2018, I believe it was, maybe June, July, somewhere along those lines. If you got any more of those, send them our way.
Yeah, we'll unload anything you can't get rid of for you.
Well, maybe one of those interesting little D&D ones, the ones that have that square plastic panel where you pull out all the pieces.
I've got that one.
I know you do, but I wanted an extra large, please. Thank you.
So, with that, check our description, find our Twitter, tweet us.
Tweet us.
You can find our email. You can find Tokyo Treat, a crate box that's still around.
Yes, and I don't think they're going to be quitting anytime soon because
people like food.
People like food. People like snacks. Their recent one, I actually thought about buying because it had something very special. If you want to know what it is, go to the website, look it up. I don't want to spoil that one. It was actually really interesting.
Yep. Grab our link at the bottom, and they'll take you there. You get to check out all their goodies.
And if you actually want to support us directly, we're slowly thinking of ways to be supportive. But please, if you want to support us directly, there is a Patreon link down there as well.
And don't worry, I'm going to make him change the video.
Oh yeah, it's kind of corny. I know.
You doing the opening your mouth and the zzz noises is what I was like. Oh.
Oh yeah, I'm a memer.
I know, it's terrifying. Later, guys.
Later. Wait, what do you mean no one could hear the $1 Million Man sounds?